Hi guys. For today's video, I thought that I would just do a really informal kind of throwback style video where I just sit down, got no makeup on, dressed like a little teddy bear because I'm cold in my apartment. I just wanted to share with you guys some of my fall favorites and do like an old school cozy YouTube fall favorites video. So that's what we're gonna do. These are some things I've been loving for the cozy season. I hope that you guys enjoy. All right, let's just jump into it because everybody knows that I talk a lot. So first thing that we have is this lounge set from Berger. I am so late to the Berger train. I know everyone has been talking about Berger for a really long time, and I'm just not someone that wears pajamas, as crazy as that sounds. 50% of the time I sleep wearing nothing, and then if I do wear something, it's either like an oversized men's t-shirt, you know, like a double XL t-shirt, or I actually really do love the little tiny slip dress from Skims. But otherwise, like, I own a couple pajama sets, I just don't really wear them. I don't feel comfortable sleeping in them. However, being that I work from home and I'm home a lot, and I definitely have like very relaxed, cozy mornings, I was craving, as the weather started to get a little bit cooler, like a lounge or pajama set that I could have on when I'm just like chilling at home, working on my laptop, making my coffee, walking around my apartment. I have giant windows that people can see into. Like, I can literally see my neighbors right there and there. Can't exactly walk around naked. I mean, I could, I just like don't feel like I need to do that. I just kind of felt like this was the time, this was the season that I was gonna try Berger, and I just can't believe that it's taken me this long, because this is the most amazing, fantastic fabric I've ever felt in my life. Like, better than Skims. This fabric is freaking amazing. There's a bunch of different styles, but I got this set because it doesn't have the little buttons. I don't really love those, and I felt like this was easier to, I mean, it's called a lounge set, so it's a little bit easier to transition into like lounge clothes. When I'm wearing this around my apartment, I feel less like I'm wearing pajamas all day and just like I'm wearing a lounge set, and it feels like a little bit more acceptable, especially if I like go down to the package room in my building, or I go to the mail room, or I walk down the block to Starbucks. Like, I've worn these outside. This is the set that I got. It's called the Giselle Slouchy Lounge. I'll link it down below. The color that I got was raspberry. I definitely think I'm gonna get another pair in the like charcoal gray color. They are gathered with an elastic here at the bottom, which I love because then they don't drag on the ground. And okay, honestly, they're way too big. So that's the only criticism I have. They're sold as a set, and I got a medium just because I feel like that was a safe bet for me. I'm definitely gonna get a small next time. So keep that in mind, because yes, it's slouchy and like oversized and obviously therefore very comfortable, but like the pants, even when I have them tied, fall off of me all of the time. They almost come all the way off constantly, and I have to keep pulling them up and retying them. So it's fine for like my purposes of laying around the house. But I think what I want to do is get the charcoal color in a small, because I also feel like the charcoal I could wear out and about, like wear them to Target, and it's like less of a weird thing. Although I guess you could wear these to Target too. I don't know, it's up to your preference and whatever you want to do. But I could totally see if you're like a mom and you want to like get your kids ready for school, and then you have to actually bring them to school or drive them to school. If I were a mom, I would just wear these to sleep in and like keep them on. Is that like delusional? I don't know, because they're just so cozy, and I feel like they're sort of just a normal lounge set, and I just cannot begin to explain to you how lovely and luscious the fabric is. I wasn't intending on sleeping in these. I really felt like this would just be when I wake up in the morning and I feel like, oh, I gotta put some clothes on if I'm gonna be walking around my apartment and making coffee and da-da-da. This would be something I could grab and just like throw on when I wanna work from home and not put real clothes on. I didn't expect to be sleeping in these, and I did like the second night that I'd gotten them, and it was kind of by mistake. Like, I was just laying in bed playing on my phone, and I felt so cozy. I was like, let me just get ready for bed and try to sleep in these. And I was kind of low-key shocked that I had such a luxurious sleep. I feel like the pants weren't twisting around my legs when I was sleeping, which usually bothers me. They were just really comfortable, and I felt so luxurious, and I feel like I had just a really deep, lovely sleep. So I highly recommend Berger pajamas. I feel like they'd make the perfect gift for the holidays. They definitely have stuff for men too. They have a lot of different colors and styles, and this one in particular, I really recommend. Let's continue on with the things that I've been using to basically have better sleep. I've been like insanely stressed and just going through a really trying time the past couple of months, and my mental and emotional capacity is just really at its limit. And I think as a result of all that, it's been really hard for me to sleep. I kind of can have bouts of insomnia anyway, but this, you know, things that I've been going through have just been like exacerbating that. I've definitely dealt with insomnia before, and I feel like I know what kind of things I can re-implement back into my schedule to to make my sleep go back to the way that it should be. And one of those things is taking a bath. So I have been hitting up Lush again, which kind of makes me feel like I'm in college. I feel like I just used to spend so much money at Lush when I was in college, or I guess like end of high school, beginning of college. Do you guys remember, I mean, if you've been watching YouTube a long time, like if you've ever watched Zoe Sugg, Zoella, or like Miss Glamorazzi, RIP to her YouTube channel, she doesn't even upload anymore, but that era of YouTube where like Zoe would just do Lush hauls all the time. Oh my God, that's like my comfort era of YouTube, I feel like. And I can already smell the bag. It just, everything smells so good in here. I used to go to Lush like all the time. When would that have been? I guess like 2013, somewhere around there. And then at some point I don't know, it became so busy that I was like, taking a bath, I don't have time for that. Especially since I moved into this apartment a couple years ago. I have a really nice bathtub and I really enjoy taking a bath. Normally I was just kind of like filling the tub with my Necessaire body wash, which is like kind of expensive, and that's probably really stupid to do. Once the fall leaves like kind of started appearing and the air was becoming like nice and crisp and cool, I decided that I had to return to Lush. It's kind of become a bit of my routine now, going like every couple of weeks and just stocking up on bath bombs. And I have a bath with a really nice bath bomb probably like 3 nights a week. It definitely does help with my sleep. It helps to calm me down a lot. I think also because the idea is that like when you're in the bath, you can't, I mean, you could be on your phone, but like why would you want to be? You're like not answering emails, you're not like texting people, you're not really like dealing with any of that. And what I like to do is I have like a podcast like H3 or something on, or like a more long form video, or if I want to like have Hassan's Twitch stream on, or Valkyrie or whoever, I'll put it on my TV, which is like right by the bathroom door, and I'll just like leave the bathroom open and just like lay in the tub and listen. I'm gonna link for you guys some of my favorite bath bombs. I feel like I have to show you this one because it looks like a black rose and it just smells absolutely heavenly. I'm so obsessed. I'm definitely gonna use this one tonight. I've also been using the rose Epsom salt from Whole Foods. If they sell that online, I can link that as well. And the rose body wash from Whole Foods to add bubbles if I want to. So that's my kind of like bath cocktail. You know what? It's just like, it's the simple things in life sometimes. Sometimes you just need to have like a nice cute little bubble bath and light your candle and turn the lights out and lay there and not look at your phone. Highly recommend giving yourself a bit of like a pamper evening, especially if you struggle with insomnia like I do. And then on that note, I have also been reading a lot more. I'm back on my reading grind and I feel really good about that. I'm a reader. I've always been a reader. I'm an only child. I used to read like 6 books a day growing up. Obviously, since graduating college, I think a lot of people experience this, that when you're in college, you don't really have time to read for pleasure and you're just reading so much for school, and that type of reading can kind of like turn you off from reading in general. And that definitely was the case for me, and it took me a few years after college, I think, to get back into reading for pleasure and reminding myself that that was an option, which sounds silly to say, but I think even right out of school, a lot of the books that I was seeking out were like how to be a better person and like, you know, things that I felt like I could actually learn something from. And I almost felt like I had to give myself permission to read stuff just because, like, you're not gonna get quizzed on it, it doesn't matter, it's just for your own enjoyment. And I think that kind of goes, not to get all like philosophical, but I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like my advice to people when they're feeling stressed or just a bit like lost generally, is I try to remind people to have hobbies that are not commodified. It's nice just to do something that you're not turning into a side hustle. It's like not a career. It has nothing to do with your job. It's just something that you can do for fun and is only for you. So sorry if that was like a little too emo, but just had to say it. Anyway, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I used to do like dedicated book videos. That was a time in my life where I like didn't really have any other work going on, so I basically just read all day. That's not really the case anymore, but if you want some like more in-depth reviews about books that I like and recommend, then I will link those videos for you guys down below. I have been asked to bring those videos back, and I have had people reach out to me saying that those were their favorite videos of mine, so I definitely want to try to incorporate more, even if they're just like little segments about books and what I'm reading. But if you're one of those people, then this section of the video is for you. I feel like while I kind of fell off reading for a while, again, it was just because I'm busy, not because I don't like to read. I had to kind of like force myself to make the time to read, and it's been so life-changing for me. I feel like, again, it's just made my sleep so much better. It's really helped me manage my stress with all the other stuff that's going on in my life. And it's just really nice, I think, especially because, again, this is like a random life update for you guys, but I'm like fully working from home right now. I have like no freelancing, no nannying, like no nothing. I am fully working for myself, for from home, that's it. I have an insane amount of free time, too much, which is why I'm like applying to other jobs. But for now, I spend so much of my day at home. It's really hard for my body to transition from like you're working all day and doing stuff to, okay, now it's time to like unwind and get ready for bed. So I've really liked that my friend Jackie, who you may have seen in some of the vlogs, she lives nearby me, and we'll like go for a walk sometimes after she's done with work, and we walk her dog, and then I kind of come home, have dinner, watch TV, take a bath, read a book. And I try really hard in that chunk of the evening not to touch my laptop unless it's for online shopping, but not like no emails, no spreadsheets, no editing, like nothing, just, you know, for pleasure. So I like to end the night with the book. I have two really good recommendations for you guys. This book is called Fingersmith. It's by Sarah Waters, and this book is what got me out of my like reading dry spell. It's actually based on one of my favorite movies. The movie is called The Handmaiden, and it is a Korean film with like English subtitles. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies. I recommend it to so many people. I can't speak highly enough about this film. I love it. I'd actually seen the film and then wanted to do more research about it because I just loved it so much, and I realized that it was based upon this book. But this book takes place in London in the late 1800s, whereas the film takes place in Korea in a slightly later time period. The characters obviously have different names and stuff. The general plot is the same. I think about a year ago, I saw this book at McNally Jackson, which is a bookstore chain in New York. I saw it there. I decided to pick it up because obviously I remembered the film that I loved, and then I kind of just forgot about it. And then recently when I was looking to get back into reading, I found it, and I thought that this would be a good book to dive into because it's a time period that's like so separate from current day, and I knew that it was sort of a thriller. It has like really good twists and turns. It felt like a story that I could really immerse myself in, and it felt like it was exactly what I was looking for. And I have to say, I was so pleasantly surprised when I was reading this book. Obviously I've seen the film and I thought I like knew what happened, but because they're different time periods, different characters, different cultures, so much of it is different that even though I could like draw the parallels, I was still surprised. Like the twist still was like, oh my God, like, I forgot that this is what's gonna happen. Like, spoiler alert for Skins, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, but I have seen Skins start to finish like 9 times, and every time I forget that Freddie is gonna die until the episode when he's dying. And I'm like, oh my God. Like I get so lost in the show that I like completely forget. But I feel like that was sort of what was happening when I was reading the book. Like I just forgot how good the twists were. And granted, they were slightly different, and the book goes into way more detail, and there's like more twists than are in the movie. So I guess all of that to say, I absolutely love this book. If you've seen The Handmaiden, definitely try the book because it's so different. If you read this book off of my recommendation and you love it, please watch The Handmaiden because it's so different and you'll love it. Like I really think both stand alone as just great pieces of art. If you feel like something that's sort of like a thriller, but also if you like historical fiction, I guess you could say, I think this is a book that you would really enjoy. I obviously don't want to spoil it, but basically the general plot is that there's a young girl who's living in a very impoverished area of London. She's like an orphan and basically lives with like a family that makes their living off of like pawning things from people. And there's a gentleman that comes to visit and like pawn things to them sometimes. And he basically hires this young girl to help him with an elaborate scheme to like steal from an heiress. The twists and turns that this story takes, I can't even describe it to you. If that's intriguing, like please pick up this book. It's so good. So I read this book in a couple of days, basically could not put it down, and I was thinking about it like when I wasn't reading it. It was that good. The next book that I tried to read, let's just say it immediately stopped me in my tracks, like in a bad way. It was so poorly written compared to this. I like immediately lost all momentum, and I don't even want to mention what the book is, but I like kept trying to read it. I've honestly gotten like maybe halfway through. I'm really not a quitter, so I was trying to power through this book, but you guys, it was not good. After a couple of nights of like really negative experiences trying to read this like unnamed book, I decided, you know what? Life is too short to read books that you don't enjoy, and I have so many other books over here by my window. I was like, I can just pick something else. So I tried this book instead. Excuse the lewd cover. It's called Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan, and she She's an Irish author. I can't remember who recommended this book to me, but somebody did, and it had been kind of like sitting in my Amazon cart for a really long time, and then I saw it at McNally Jackson and I decided that I would just pick it up, because that's kind of how I like shop for books. If someone recommends something to me, I save it in my Amazon cart just so that I don't forget it. Whenever I'm in a bookstore, whether it's McNally Jackson or Book Culture here in New York or any like little independent bookstore in Chicago, then I pull up my Amazon list and I try to pick from there. This was the book that saved me from the other unknown book. I read this in one night. I started at like 7 p.m. and I literally was reading and like ran the bath and like put in the bath bomb and filled it up with all this stuff and made my little bathtub potion. Got into the bath with the book, kept reading the book, couldn't put it down. My body was probably a prune at that point. I could not stop reading. And then I'm like getting out of the bath, putting myself in my towel or in my robe, and then just like sitting on the couch until I finished the book. It's really not like a crazy story, obviously, compared to something like this. It's more realistic fiction. It's about a girl who's in her early 20s, she's 23, and she falls in love with an older man that she meets. It's really just about like their toxic relationship and the very kind of like real emotions that she goes through, how she feels kind of like haunted in a way by his ex-girlfriend who still kind of pops into the picture sometimes, and how being in this relationship drives her to a very desperate place, and she just like becomes a person that she's like not necessarily proud of. I actually think that this little blurb on the back of the book describes it really well. Their relationship is unpredictable, and behind his perfect looks is a mean streak. She's intent on winning him over, but neither is living up to the other's ideals. He keeps emailing his glamorous ex, and she's starting to give in to his secret, shameful cravings of her own. The search for a fix is frantic and taking a dangerous turn. It's like nothing revolutionary in terms of like general plot, but it's just so well written. It's just very raw and unapologetic, and in that way very refreshing. It was so easy for me to read. Actually, wait, I just opened the book to this page and I absolutely love these lines. I wish I would have highlighted them. She says, "I knew that my relationship was strange and uneven and not reciprocal, and that speaking about its reality would confuse and upset people who loved me, but I also didn't feel it to be those things." I feel like there's a lot of those sort of juxtaposed feelings throughout the book about how like you can love someone so much but they can make you do such awful things, or you can view yourself to be a really good person and yet still do terrible things and sometimes feel like you're unrecognizable to yourself. And there's a really nice kind of like B storyline of the girl going back home and visiting her father, and like the contrast between how her father views her and their relationship versus how this man that she's dating views her, and how she allows herself to be treated in those different relationships, and also the type of person that she kind of becomes in different situations. I don't know, it's a really well written, a really good story. There was a line I highlighted and I wish I could find it. Hold on. Here, actually this line I did highlight, and I'll read this one. And she's speaking about the guy that she's with and his ex-girlfriend, and they're still sort of like connected. So the narrator says, "They were just two idiots in a mess who kept convincing and then unconvincing one another of things. They weren't star-crossed, just dithering, dependent people who couldn't stay away from each other because they hadn't worked out how to imagine anything different." Sorry, but like that's real. That's real and that's raw. And girl, I agree. And I just really like this book, and that's all I gotta say. Just to give you guys a couple more ideas. These two books I picked up when I was in Chicago. I just went to like a local bookstore by my dad's house. Obviously I haven't read them, so I have nothing to share in terms of a review, but if you guys have read them, let me know in the comments. But I have Acts of Service. This book was recommended to me. This book was recommended by Jack Edwards. If you guys like books, you should definitely check out his YouTube channel. I will leave it linked down below. I watch his videos a lot, and he gives really great recommendations, and I'd had this on my list as one that he recommended. When I went to this bookstore when I was in Chicago, they also had this on like a wall of books they recommended, and I was like, okay, we got two endorsements here. I think I definitely need to pick this one up. So I think I'm gonna read this. Honestly, I'm gonna start it tonight. And then the next book I got is called Someone Who Will Love You in All Your Damaged Glory, and this book is a collection of short stories, and it's written by the creator of BoJack Horseman. So if you like that show, or if you like that style of humor, I'm sure you would probably like it. I don't really have an opinion on BoJack one way or the other. Like, I've seen some episodes, I know like the memes and stuff, but I don't know. It just wasn't ever a show that I got into. I tend to like sort of like dark humor. On the back, they gave a couple of examples of some of the topics that would be in the little stories. One is like a struggling employee who works at a theme park. And then one is about like lonely commuters who are riding on the subway in silence, eternally failing to make longed for eye contact. And then one is about a young engaged couple dealing with their interfering relatives, and 15 more tales of humor, romance, whimsy, cultural commentary, and crushing emotional vulnerability. I tend to really like these sort of like vignette style short stories, so I'm thinking that I'll probably like it. Anyway, that's it for books. Let's power through the last few items here. I have to shout out my fall perfume. I just repurchased it during the Sephora VIB sale, and I'm honestly so obsessed. I feel like if you haven't smelled this perfume yet, you should definitely go check it out. This is Mugler's Alien Goddess perfume. This is what the bottle looks like. This is the one that I'm basically finished with now. I purchased this last year, I want to say, during the Sephora VIB, or like maybe around Christmas time. I don't know, maybe it's in a vlog, and you guys might know more than I do. I am absolutely obsessed with this for the fall and winter. I don't find myself grabbing this as often in the spring and summer, but something about the scent is just so cozy. It sort of reminds me of like an elevated, more sophisticated Juicy Couture perfume. I hope that's not like derogatory. I'm not trying to equate Mugler with Juicy Couture, but like something about the scents are a little bit similar, which is comforting to me, and it reminds me of like fall in high school, you know, more elevated and sophisticated. I just absolutely adore it. I definitely recommend this perfume for you guys to check out. I always wear my go-to Chanel Coco Mademoiselle perfume. Like, I wear that every day regardless, but then I layer in the fall and winter Mugler, and then in the spring and summer a Le Labo perfume. That is the recipe for my scent, in case you wondered, and I'm sure you didn't. Okay, so now this might be a little basic, no pun intended, but it was something that was just desperately missing from my closet. If you guys follow me on Instagram, or if you watch a lot of my videos, I think you know I tend to dress like a little crazy, a little loca, a little chic pop star freak. That's, I think, a good summation of my style most of the time. Well, is it most of the time? I don't know. When I'm like out in public and I want to be perceived. But on a day-to-day basis, you know, I'm usually just kind of wearing cozy stuff. But there are those rare moments where I want to like wear jeans in public and maybe like a nice shirt. So I had to turn to Abercrombie to find some basics. I feel like for a while now, I've been on the hunt for good quality basics that aren't incredibly expensive and that aren't Brandy Melville. I purchased some items from Skims last year that I just really wasn't thrilled with, and I'll show you why in a moment. But this season, I decided to follow a recommendation from Emily June. If you guys know her, she has a really good TikTok account. I will leave it linked down below. But she was wearing a shirt that I could have sworn was just like a Skims one that I owned, and it turned out to be Abercrombie. I actually ordered like the wrong items the first time around, so I had to order again. But I am so pleased with what I got, and I feel like these things sell out, so I'll link them and hopefully you can find something that fits you and the color that you like. I really love these. I'm so pleased. I'm obsessed with this shirt. It's a long sleeve essential tee. The term is tuckable, so it's like not cropped. It's long enough that you could tuck it into jeans, and I feel like that's the perfect length that I have been needing. Anyway, I got the long sleeve top in a size medium. I probably could have gotten a small, but I definitely don't mind having a long sleeve top that isn't super skin tight. It's this really nice mocha brown kind of color. And then I also got the t-shirt version in black, which is in the laundry because I literally wore it yesterday. But I wanted to show you a comparison. This is a Skims t-shirt that I purchased last fall when I was trying to achieve the exact same thing, like just basic plain t-shirts and long sleeves in different colors that were comfortable but still like form-fitting and still kind of made me feel confident. I feel like the ideal scenario is that I could wear a top like this with jeans during the day, but also if I was going out at night and I wanted to wear like a mini skirt and boots, but like have a more plain top, maybe it was cold out, I don't know, I could still wear this. I feel like that fits the bill perfectly. I thought these Skims ones did, but y'all, I love Skims and I usually really like everything from them. But these t-shirts shorts and long sleeves. I mistakenly got like 4 of them, so it was a really big mistake on my part. I really liked the fabric and the material, and it felt like stretchy and comfortable, and I thought it was what I needed. Girl, I wore this shirt literally just getting ready and had already sweat through it, and I'm not someone that like sweats through my clothes really, so when that happens, I'm like, excuse me? Also, I had a long sleeve pink version of this. I think this is the like vintage fabric. I'll try to like put on the screen what it is so that you guys know. Do not get it. Like, don't get it. It literally got holes in it from being in the laundry because it's just simply so thin. It's just too thin. You could see my nails. Like, that's crazy. Like, what? It's just too thin. Obviously, I don't feel comfortable or confident wearing it out at night knowing that I might sweat through it. Like, I literally even sweat through the black shirt and you could see, which I feel like is unheard of, and that shouldn't happen with a black shirt at all. Sorry, Skims, but like those items were trash and they were a big mistake. But I wore this long sleeve all day long under like a coat, no sweat. And it's definitely not as thin as that Skims fabric. Like, this fabric just feels more substantial. Highly recommend. I will leave the styles that I really like linked down below. It seems like they add some different colors. Like, I think there's like a bluish one now or a maroon. Other than the kind of basic black and white and gray, I would kind of keep checking and see if there's any intriguing seasonal colors that they add, because you guys, I love this brown. It's so good. Next, I wanted to share these earrings that have been a favorite of mine. They're from Jenny Bird. I was looking for like a large hoop earring because I think in the fall, clearly I tend to dress just more like a teddy bear. Like, there's so many nights or weekends when Jackie and I will take Holly, we'll go for a walk along the Hudson River, we'll go to City Vineyard, if you watch the vlogs you know, or we'll go to Greenwich Street Tavern and like pretend to watch a football game and just really go for the food and the drinks, but whatever. I just feel like there's a lot of occasions where we'll go and do stuff, but it's like very low stakes, very chill. I don't need to impress anyone necessarily. I'm not like really dressing up, I'm not wearing makeup, and I want to wear like a hoodie and jeans, but I want to dress it up like a little bit. Like, I still want to feel kind of cute. I noticed Madison Beer, icon queen, I love her to death. I was watching like her interview on the Zach Sang show in September when her album came out, and I thought to myself, see, she gets it. Like, she wears a lot of comfy, cozy, like oversized clothes, but she has like her hair done and wearing usually like large hoops. I went to like a Madison Beer style closet Instagram. Those accounts are honestly my not so secret weapon when it comes to trying to find and source pieces from Addison Rae, Dua Lipa, Madison Beer, people that just don't constantly post links how a traditional influencer does, but I still want to know what they're wearing and maybe I can't find it. I'm telling you, those celebrities, their stans are dedicated and they will find out where everything is from. So anyway, Style of Madison Beer, I think that's what it's called. I'll link it, but that Instagram account found that they were these Jenny Bird earrings, and I could tell that that was correct because I don't know if that's gonna show up, but there's this kind of like thing here that shows on the front of your ear when you have the earrings in. Anyway, thank you to that stan account. Thank you to Madison Beer. I got the Jenny Bird earrings from Nordstrom. They were like just about $100. I felt like this was a purchase that I'd been kind of wanting to make for quite a while. I didn't want something that was gonna like turn my ears green. I feel like comfortable with that purchase, and I feel like if you've been looking for a nice hoop earring, which the key here is, are not too heavy. They literally feel weightless when I wear them. I've never felt this way with a hoop earring before, so I feel like I understand why they're priced this way, because they look nice. Like, they don't look cheap, but they don't feel incredibly heavy and they don't really bother you. But I feel like you're not gonna be able to see how you can put these on, but basically it's like a little spring here and you pull it apart like that, and you put it in your ear and then you put it in like that. They definitely won't come out. They come in a really nice dust bag. They obviously also come in gold, and I just really love them. So that's that. Okay, last item. So basic, but I just felt like I had to talk about this or them because it really just makes such a difference for me. And when I think about favorites in the fall and winter, like, I think about Uggs, okay? These are my favorite Uggs that I own. This is gonna be very embarrassing to admit, but I own I think 6 pairs of Uggs, like, currently. 2 pairs are at my dad's house, and then I have 2 pairs of slippers and 2 pairs of boots here in my closet. I know, I don't really know how that happened. I think living in an apartment building like this, where I can leave my apartment and like go to the lounge or go to the package room or down to the concierge to get the mail, whatever, having UGG slippers has been really nice. I especially love these because unlike the other slippers I have, they're platform. These are the Diskette UGG slippers. If you've seen in my vlogs, every single time I go to the airport and I travel to Chicago in the fall and winter, I wear these to the airport. It's such a dream. Going through security is so easy. I'm so cozy on the plane. And I already am very chill about going to the airport. Like, I literally don't care when I go to the airport. I'm just like, hi, I'm here, whatever. I don't stress. I don't get there early. It's like a walk in the park for me. But now it's a walk in the park. Pero, I'm wearing the coziest shoes ever. And it just, I don't know, it makes the whole experience like way more enjoyable. I have like more traditional UGG slippers, which I got to like wear in my apartment when my feet are cold because I have hardwood floors. But I really wanted a pair that I could wear if I wanted to go to Starbucks, let's say, which is just like down the block, or maybe even to CVS, which is like a couple blocks away. And obviously like I'm not gonna wear house shoes outside. So these are like my outside slippers because they have the platform, and I feel like living in New York, obviously, I wanna be a little bit farther from the ground. Like that definitely helps. I also always wear them with socks. I don't know, do you guys wear your Uggs with socks? I feel like that's controversial. I feel like some people don't wear socks with their Uggs, but I always do. Anyway, these are the Diskette Uggs in chestnut. I did have to size up. I believe these are a 10, which is crazy because I'm a 9 usually, but the 9s were way too small when I tried them on with like all of this added fur and stuff. So I got them in a 10. I've had them for a year now. I love them. And like I said, these are my outdoor Ugg slippers. I don't wear them around my apartment, and mostly they're just worn in my apartment building. Like if I'm gonna take the trash or the recycling out, going to get the mail, a dry cleaning, anything like that. Or if I'm gonna take like a short walk, you know, within a few block radius, or when I'm getting in the Uber to go to the airport, wearing at the airport. And then I wear them a lot like when I'm out and about in Chicago running errands, like driving in my car. So these I have to shout out because I love them and they're tried and true and they've lasted really well. These So I got these this season because I felt like I needed an UGG that could go a little bit farther than those. Like an UGG that could take me to City Vineyard, which is like 10-15 minute walk. Like I wanted UGGs that I could take, dare I say, on the subway, like a little bit farther. And something about wearing a slipper style shoe in public in New York just felt like I like unheard of. Like I can't do that. I needed UGGs that could travel a little bit farther on the New York City streets. I love a platform shoe. I think if you guys have seen my platform shoe collection, I don't care about wearing platforms, it's fine. But I think I made a mistake with these. And I know you're thinking, Samantha, this is a favorites video. Why are you talking about something you regret? Well, I do and I don't. I love the color. I love how they look. I definitely got the wrong size. These I got in a 9, which like I said, I'm a 9. Unlike the slippers, I should have sized down. I think I should have gotten an 8 because I wore these about 2 times. I can put the shoe on and if I kick my foot, the shoe will fly off. I have also almost like legitimately twisted my ankle wearing these going literally just down the block to Starbucks. And I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this with these shoes. I feel like more people need to be honest about the fact that these shoes are like kind of dangerous. And I don't know if it's because of like how many they are or if you really should be sizing down in them or like, I don't know what it is. I guess all that to say, for some reason, like they still make me happy and I still love to wear them if I'm going like just to Starbucks or CVS or Target, Whole Foods, the Container Store, you know? I don't know. I like them. I just am kind of mad at myself that I didn't realize right away that I should just exchange and size down. And now I'm like, it's too late because I've worn them many times. So yeah, my recommendation is get some platform Uggs, whether that's the slippers, which are tried and true and I love, and I recommend to size up, or the little mini boots that everyone is rocking and everyone is wearing. And I don't know how everyone else isn't tripping in them. I don't know how everyone else must have known to size down, but anyway, let me know if you guys have these, if you like them, if you don't. Maybe proceed with caution. I'll say that. All right, so that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was short because there weren't that many things that I talked about, but knowing me, I probably talked for like freaking 25 minutes. So anyway, let me know if there are any other like favorite style videos that you guys would like me to do. There's a vlog coming up after this. Any other requests that you have, let me know. And as always, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. Everything will be linked down below, as well as everywhere that you can find me. And I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, kisses. Oh wait, also one more thing. I would love to know if there are any other like old school YouTube videos that you guys would want to see from me. Maybe like not a challenge video, but you know what I mean? Like I have been thinking about doing like a closet challenge video, you know, where you have to like answer questions about what's the most expensive item in your closet, what's the cheapest thing in your closet, like things like that. I don't know if you guys remember videos like that, but if you can think of any like old school challenges or tag videos, that's the word I was looking for, like a closet tag, anything like that. If that sounds like something you might like, let me know, because I feel like I'm in a nostalgic mood lately. So bye now for real. Bye kisses.